all participants, respected DG sir and CIRDAP member countries participants and inspirational women of CIRDAP member countries. Welcome to you for the celebration of International Women Day. Every year CIRDAP is organizing International Women Day to acknowledge the participants of women in the various fields of their life. Today, we are going to celebrate, honor our inspirational women of CIRDAP member countries. There are 6 inspirational women we have from Bangladesh, India, Iran, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and we have a chief guest from Fiji. Her name is Dr. Akanisi Kedrayate, former Dean of Faculty of Art, Law, Education and University of South Pacific. I welcome all of you for our important event to celebrate International Women's Day to honor our inspirational women. Now I would like to our DG sir to deliver his speech. DG sir, please. To request our DG sir to deliver his speech.
Thank you, Dr. Usha. Good morning to all of you. Greetings from Center on Integrated Rural Development in Asia and Pacific, CIRDAP. I would like to congratulate everyone here on this important occasion of International Women's Day celebration. It is the privilege of CIRDAP to celebrate International Women's Day in presence of all of you. On behalf of CIRDAP family, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you, especially today honored speaker who are going to share their inspiring success stories in this important platform. I am privileged to welcome our honorable speaker from Fiji,
It's not audible. Sir, you are not audible. Sir.
Probably a network issue from sir's side.
There is some network problem.
Conference hall in concern. राखेर छलफलको लागि त्यहाँ बोलाएका छन् त्यो चाहिँ हामीले राख्छौं त्यो चाहिँ अवस्था भइरहेको छ एउटा जनरल गाउँलेको जुन
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You
Yeah.
are audible now, sir.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Actually, I am sitting in a very, distant place. Technological issues are there, and my apologies for that. About CIRDAP, this is a UN and FAO initiated organization during 1979, established to strengthen rural development models in Asia and Pacific countries. CIRDAP has around 15 member countries, and we give special emphasis on gender mainstreaming in our programs, and we have also established a separate center for ensuring mainstreaming gender and youth related issues. As we are all aware, this year the theme for International Women's Day celebration is for all women and girls, rights, equality, and empowerment. It's a very pragmatic, statement which we are all committed to take it forward. In this direction, in letter and spirit, CIRDAP would like to work. We have initiated 4 important research projects among our member countries. One in Nepal, which sensitize political leadership on preparation of gender responsive budget. This is in progress. Another research project on improving the livelihood options of transgenders in rural areas in India. The second project is also in progress. The third project on involvement of women and youth in rural development, village development. This program is in progress in Sri Lanka. And the fourth research project on role of women in silk value chain. This research project is in progress in Iran. And all the 4 projects are, conducted in partnership with our knowledge partners in respective countries. Whatever the outcome learning comes, I'm sure we will share back with all the member countries for the benefit of the policy advocacy. We are committed for gender mainstreaming, not only today, through our other programs in the days to come from CIRDAP side. With this, I would like to conclude for the time being, and would request Dr. Usha to take it forward. We are very much eager to hear to our chief guest from Fiji, and also inspiring women leaders and success stories from our member countries. Thank you very much.
General speech. Thank you, sir. Now, our chief guest, Dr. Akanisi Kedrayate, former Dean of the Faculty of Art, Law and Education of University of South Pacific, Fiji. Now, I would like to tell about her biography. Dr. Akanisi Kedrayate is a distinguished Fijian academic and leader with expertise in community education, gender, and leadership development. She holds a doctorate degree from the University of New England, Masters of Education from Glasgow University, and leadership training from Harvard University. She began her career as a teacher before joining the University of South Pacific in 1998. Over the years, she served in various leadership roles, including Dean of the Faculty of Art, Law and Education from 2010 to 2018, and Local Director of the Confucius Institute 2019 to 2022. Dr. Kedrayate has conducted extensive research and consultancy work in community development, non-formal education, and women leadership across the Pacific. She has contributed to government policies, chaired several national commissions, and advocated for gender equality and education. She remains active in academic leadership and community service role, holding key positions on various boards and organizations. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. Akanisi Kedrayate as a chief guest. Welcome to Dr. Akanisi Kedrayate.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ushara, the gender coordinator, and also Dr. Chandra Shekhara, the Director General of CIRDAP, and also the great women leaders who are part of this conversation and this celebration this afternoon in Fiji. Good afternoon. It's afternoon in Fiji, and it is good morning there to all our colleagues from the Asian countries. First of all, at the outset, I would like to thank our own Honorable Minister here at the Ministry of Rural Development and Disaster Management, the Chief Education CEO, and also the Director of the Rural Development, particularly responsible for the women, for the invitation to be part of this important celebration and to share with you this afternoon some of my life stories, some of the things that I have been involved in. And I'm so glad that this afternoon, I also have a colleague and a relative from our own province, who is also the Commissioner Central, here with us at this important celebration. For all the great leaders who are listening in today, congratulations, and we celebrate this important day, and we thank you, CIRDAP, for allowing this time to remember the women, not only of the 15 countries, but internationally. There have been celebrations that have been happening throughout our institution. Last night, I was involved in one in World Day of Prayer. So we do, as women, acknowledge this important time when we remember the women, the stronghold who hold up half of the globe in the world. So I've been asked to be very brief. As a backgrounding teacher, I can speak the whole afternoon. So I will be just very brief to say that I grew up in the rural area, and I was born there. I grew up where life was very tough. And my own story lies deep within my heart and my soul, and it is the story of life itself. It is a journey, and it is a growing up of learning, and it is a journey of relationship within the community and also outside the community. And growing up in a rural community, it is a realization of me as a woman, and the role of a woman and the responsibilities and the aspirations that I have in my community. And one particular thing that stood out for me in my growing up in the rural community is I grew up in a family where we were all girls. And when I reflect on my life and look back, this is perhaps where I am now, because I'm always curious to ask, why are the women not involved in this? Why are the women cannot climb coconut trees? Why can't I go fishing? Why can't I speak in a meeting? So these are some of the things that influence my own personal life. And I'm one who wants to know the why in life, to find meaning of life, to find where there is evidence that really makes me, to be stopped from something that I can do as a woman. And so because of that, I was not prepared growing up in my rural area, confined to my tradition, confined to the rules, to accept that the women cannot do the things that I was told by my mother, don't ask questions, just do it. So with that, I told myself that I was going to leave my little village, rural village, and go out and never come back to my rural village. However, God, who creates all of us, didn't see me in that way. So I when I got my education, I went back to help my very people where I had grown up. And so some of you who will be sharing today, will be sharing the success, mostly the success, and of course the challenges that go with the challenges and the in the rural community as we work with the rural women. And another thing that I want to say that is part of our stories. Our stories must be first before we can become part of the stories of the women that we help in the community. And I feel that is important. If we are not clear about our own stories, we will not be clear about the stories of the people that we help in the community. And I've always realized that when I go back to help in the work that I do in the community, while I was still at the university, I go to my community very often with our women, and I feel that I have to listen to them. And it is not only knowing their stories that we can work together and be part of that process to release that bondage of slavery and to release that bondage of knowing that under the patriarchy society in the community, we can still, be able to contribute in the community so that the community can have a better life in the community. And that's my approach in the community, because my own success is the success of the women in my village. It's the success of the women in my tikina, in my province. And it must begin with me. I cannot go and share something that I don't have. And with that, I have been able to, penetrate into various work in the government and in the services where I have worked with the women and learned to sit with the women and listen to them, what their stories are. We cannot help to the women unless they tell their stories. And their stories is part of their life journey. And their stories continues to be told now and will continue. And I believe that many times as we come from urban areas to go and implement things, sometimes we are so engrossed in trying to meet our target, our deadline, we don't have time to listen to their stories. And through that stories, we can be able to build on and to help them to transform, because in the end, it's about sustainability. It's about them continuing their life so that when we leave, they will continue, to have that smile on their face, to know that they can do it themselves. True liberation and justice, I believe in my work with the community in the rural areas, comes when we realize that the women have that and they've always had that. All our role is to go and help them, to come out of that, to be liberated and empowered so that they can be sustained. And then we move out of that community so that they can continue to be involved in their work. We should not stay on long in a community and create dependency because, we make them go back into being slave to the things that they were once enslaved on. True rural development for the rural women is true liberation. When you hear their story, when you help their needs, when you work with them, and then you can say, their smile on their faces, now they're able to carry on. They've truly been liberated, I will move on. And to me, that's truly the liberation, enabling women to sustain and to be empowered because they will carry on the life in their own community. And just for the women who are listening, and just let me add that, women have been created so beautifully, I believe, by God. And we are created with so many talents and so many skills that have enabled women in the rural areas to be resilient and to be able to be to endure and to be overcomers all the difficulties that they face in life. And also, I found the working with the rural women, they are tenacious. They will be able, to carry on and protect, what they love in the community. And most of those are the children, children, for me, are very important in rural development because when we go pass on, it's they that will carry on the legacy. So for the great women who are listening in today, thank you. I would just like to end here by thank you for the great work that you are doing. So much has been done. I can see in your country, I visited some of your countries, and there are great things that are being done for the women. My message, just to leave with you, true liberation and true justice comes when we are able to leave the women to carry on, and we move away, and they will be sustained and they'll carry on because they are capable, of running things on their own. So thank you very much for that. And I would just like to thank the director and also the gender coordinator for this moment. There are so many other things that are done in Fiji in favor of the women. We have progressed so much in terms of gender, but there's still some things that still needs to be addressed. But that's just briefly part of my sharing of my life as a rural woman, growing up in a rural woman, and what I believe really needs to liberate the women, to empower them. We've heard the word empowerment so many times, but what does it really mean? What does it mean in reality? So with those, thank you very much, Dinabad and Vinaka Vakalebu.
Thank you. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Dr. Akanisi Kedrayate, for your very inspirational speech. We have learned from your life journey, and we have learned from you that for women need courageous empowerment so that women will be developed in the society. Thank you, Madam. Thank you very much. Now we are going to arrange our session sharing success stories on integrated rural development. This session will start now. Our CMCs, inspirational women, they are going to share the stories. First, Bangladesh will start. I would like to my colleague, Ms. Sejuti, to share Bangladesh success stories.
Good morning. This is Tasina. Good morning. This is Tasina Tabassum Shejuti, working in Research Division in CIRDAP. Today we come together to honor the achievement of women across the globe. Before sharing the stories, now I would like to share a short biography of Miss Sufia Begum Ma'am, Chairperson, Ujirpur Women Cooperative Society, Kumilla, Bangladesh. Sufia Begum is a symbol of resilience in rural development. Since 2002, she has led the Ujirpur Women's Societies under BARS, WEINIP project, later renamed RWSWDE. Married in 1973, Sufia and her husband, a struggling grocer, faced financial hardship. Determined to change her fate, she took charge, starting a cooperative society with just 300 taka and 25 members. She expanded it to 8 lakh taka and 70 members. Training in various skills boosted her confidence, making her a 15-time award-winning chairperson. Sufia's swing business provided extra income. Passionate about social welfare, she helped women access capital, government allowances, and jobs. Elected 3 times as a local representative, she remains a trusted community leader. Despite losing her son and husband, Sufia remains unwavering. Her journey proves that resilience and dedication can transform lives, inspiring many. Now I would like to welcome Ms. Sufia Begum Ma'am to share her success stories.
Assalamu alaikum. আমার নাম সুফিয়া বেগম। আমি কুমিল্লা ডিস্ট্রিক্টের মধ্যে বাড় থেকে আমি বলছি। আমার পরিচয়, আমার বাড়ির একজন সভানেত্রী, আমার গ্রাম উজিরপুর। আমি 1 নং কালীবাজারের মহিলা সদস্য 7-8-9-এর। আমার জীবনে অনেক কিছু আমি বলতেছি। আমি যখন আমার 86-তে বিয়ে হয়, তখন আমার একটা দুর্ঘটনা অনেক হয়ে গেছে। আমার স্বামী তত কাজকর্ম করতে পারে না। তখনই আমি একটা না একটা কাজ করে, অন্য হতে কাজ করে এ সংসার জীবনযাপন করতেছি। আমার একে একে 4টি মেয়ে, প্রথম মেয়ে, দ্বিতীয় ছেলে, এরপর আরো 3টি মেয়ে হয়েছে। তখন কি করব, মাথায় কাজ করে না। আমি কিন্তু উদ্রেক নিয়েছি, তো আমার স্বামীর একটা দোকান দিলাম, একটা দোকানদারি করেন, কইরা কোনো রকমে চলেন। আমিও চাই চেষ্টা করি কি করতে পারি। চেষ্টা করলে সবকিছু সফল আল্লাহ দেয়। তখন কি একটু থামেন। Good morning. This is Sufia Begum. I am translating her word. She said that she is the chairperson of Ujirpur Women's Society. After her marriage, she started her struggle as her husband was a small businessman, and she has 4 children. So she tried her best to do anything. So she started her work. তখন আমি আমি সেলের কাছে একটা উদ্যোগ নিছি, আমার মেয়েরা কিভাবে লেখাপড়া করাইবো, কিভাবে কি করবো। মেয়েরা লেখাপড়া ছাড়া তো কিছুতে কিছু হবে না, যেহেতু আমরা গরিব পরিবার। তখন আমি without education of women, girl and women, there will be nothing to do. So she started her girl at first for education. তখন আমি এক জায়গা গেছি, যাইয়া প্রশিক্ষণ দিছি সেলাই কাজের। প্রশিক্ষণ দিয়ে এই মেশিন কিনতে পারি নাই। তখন কি করব, আমি টাকা ধার নিয়ে একটা সেলাই মেশিন কিনলাম। And she started her first job as a tailor. She borrowed some money and buy a sewing machine and started her work. তখন আমি এই মেশিন কিনে কাটা কাপড় তুলি, এরপরে বিক্রি করি। স্বামীরও বলতেছি দোকানদারি করেন। এরকম নিয়ে মেয়েরা লেখাপড়া করা শুরু করলাম। পড়াইতে পড়াইতে বড় মেয়েরে মাস্টার্স পাস করাইছি, এরপরে মেজে মেয়েরে ইন্টারমিডিয়েট পাস করাইছি, তৃতীয় মেয়েরও ইন্টারমিডিয়েট পাস করাইছি, চতুর্থ মেয়ের এখন বর্তমানে মাস্টার্স পরীক্ষা কমপ্লিট করছে। Her first daughter did her masters, then second 2 daughters do intermediate, that is higher secondary school certificate exam finished, but cannot go ahead with because of their poor situation, and the 4th one is now doing her masters. এরকম করতে করতে এরপরে পরে তখন বললাম, বলে আমার যদি একটা পুঁজিও নাই, আমি কিভাবে আমার ভবিষ্যৎ অর্জন করব। তখন মনে করলাম বাড়ির থেকে কিছু করলাম, বাড়ি ভর্তি হইলাম আমার এক আপুর সমারোহ। Then she started her journey as a chairperson of RWSWD societies from BARD, Cooperative Society. তখন বাড়ি ভর্তি হইলাম, ভর্তি হইতে কয়েকজন লোক নিলাম। তখন ছিল 5 টাকা করিয়া সঞ্চয়, এগুলো বলছি নেই। তখন এটি নেওয়ার পরে এরপরে আর কি কইলাম আপা, তখন আমি আমার স্বামীর একটা সেলাই মেশিন কিনে দিলাম, দোকানদারি বন্ধ করিয়া দিল। আমার স্বামী সেলাইয়ের কাজ করিয়া ওই বাড়ি বাড়ি সাইকেল দিয়ে নিয়ে কাপড় কাটা কাপড় বিক্রি করি। After joining in the BARD society, she took some training. Besides, she was a small business in small pieces of cloth, and after closing the shop of her husband, she started her husband joined with her in this business. তখন এর কাটা কাপড় তুলি, তখন আবার 2টা মেশিন কিনলাম। মেশিন কিনলাম, বাড়িতে মেয়েরা নিয়ে বাড়ির থেকে সঞ্চয় জোগাই সেরে বাড়ির থেকে নিয়ে টাকা নিয়ে আর 2টা মেশিন কিনে বাড়িতে নিয়ে মেয়েরারে সেলাইয়ের কাজ শিখায়।
With her small savings, she borrowed some credit from Bar Society, and then she purchased 2 sewing machine and started her work full swing as a tailor.
তখন আমি কি করলাম, আমি বলে আরো একটু অগ্রসর করি, চেষ্টা করি, চাই দেখি নি আল্লাহ কি করে। তখন 2012 সালে আফা সবাই আমাকে বললো মেম্বারের দ্বারা মেম্বারে দেওয়া। তখন আমি বললাম আমি একটা রুগী মানুষ, এ সময় আমার অ্যাপেন্ডিক্সের ব্যথা ছিল, অপারেশন ছিল, বলে কিচ্ছু হইতো না, সবাই যদি দোয়া করি তুমি ভালো হয়ে যাইবা। তখন আমি 2012 সালে মেম্বারি প্রস্তুতি নিয়ে আবার ধারে ধারে তিন ওয়ার্ডে।
With her tailoring work, she was known to everyone, and besides she has some social work. So many member of her society inspired her to join the Union Porishad, that is local government election. So she inspired by them, and when they ensure her that nothing is impossible, so if you want, you can be a leader also. So by the motivation of her community people, first time she joined in the election of in 2012 in election in local government, and then she elected as a women leader, that is ward 678, 3 ward member, 3 ward 1 women member. And after that she elected as 3 times a local leader in Union Porishad.
তখন আমার 2020 সালে আমার একটা ছেলে 4টে মেয়ে। তখন আমার ছেলের 2008 সালে একবার ঢাকা মোমিন ডাক্তারের কাছে নিয়ে 20 সালে আমার ছেলে মারা যায় ক্যান্সার রোগে।
But suddenly her only son died on cancer, so she get helpless.
তখন ওই সময়ে ছেলের আব্বু অসুস্থ ছিল, তখনই অসুস্থ ছিল। ছেলে যে মারা গেছে ছেলের আব্বু বলতে পারতো না। 20 সালে ছেলে মরছে, 22 সালে ছেলের আব্বু মারা গেছে।
And in 2020 her only son died, and 2022 her husband died. Then she became more helpless.
তখন অনেক করে আল্লাহ চালায়, অনেক পরিশ্রম করতে আছি।
She did many struggle.
পরিশ্রম করে এখন সচ্ছল পথে আছি, আল্লাহ রাখছে যেরকম রাখছে, আল্লাহ কিছু শুকরানা।
Now she has become solvent, and she is very happy and thankful to Almighty that whatever the position now she is doing, it's good for her and her community.
আমি আর বলতাম কিছু।
That's all from her. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam Sufia Begum, this is very inspirational story. How you have started your journey. A small limited money, you have done so much for the society, and you have now you have a member of a Ujipur Cooperative Society. This is very inspirational for all ladies in our community. Thank you so much for your stories. Thank you, madam. Now we are going to.
Assalamu alaikum. Allah hafiz, bhalo থাকেন।
Namaste.
Walaikum assalam.
Alaikum salam. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Now we are going to share a very inspirational woman from India, Dr. Rani Bang. But today, physically, she is not here because there are so many programs with her. So she will not here. But I would like to share her short biography. Dr. Rani Bang is a renowned Indian public health expert gynecologist, and social activities. She earned her MBBS and MD in obstetric and gynecology from Nagpur University and completed an MPH from Johns Hopkins University. Along with her husband, she co-founded SHARE Society for Education, Action and Research in Community Health in Gadchiroli, Maharashtra, focusing on rural healthcare, women reproductive health, and neonatal care. Mr. Bang has been instrumental in pioneering community-based healthcare model and has conducted ground mortality. She has received numerous prestigious awards, including India's Padma Shri 2018 and JRD Tata Award 2020, and multiple significantly influenced healthcare policies in India and globally. And she remains an advocate for public health, social justice, and rural development. Thank you. Now I would like my colleague Sejuti to speak about Iran inspirational women.
Now I would like to share short brief stories about Miss Mehri Maddahi Kivi ma'am. She is Deputy of the Office for Development of Agriculture Activities of Rural and Nomadic Women, Ministry of Agriculture, Jihad, Iran. Miss Mehri ma'am is an Iranian expert in rural development, specializing in empowering rural and nomadic women. She holds a bachelor's degree in economics and a master's in educational management and has 32 years of experience in the Ministry of Agriculture, Jihad. Currently serving as Deputy of the Office for Development of Agriculture Activities of Rural and Nomadic Women. Her work focuses on policy making, planning, and implementing programs that support rural women through microcredit funds, training programs, sustainable agriculture, and micro-business development. She has played a key role in initiatives like home gardens, agricultural value chains, and rural entrepreneurship projects, improving livelihoods and fostering economic independence for rural and nomadic communities in Iran. Now I would like to welcome Mehri Maddahi Kivi ma'am to share her success stories. Welcome, ma'am.
Hello, thank you very much. Good morning. I am Mehri Maddahi Kivi from Iran. I think today in one of the most important international days, they considered by the United Nations. So please allow me first of all to congratulate the esteemed audience and all women, especially rural women around the world, the International Women's Day. And I would like to thank the Director of General CIRDAP for providing me this opportunity to talk about my experiences. My story goes 33 years back, just after graduating from the university, when I started working for the government and as an expert in the education of rural women in the northwest of the country. My recruitment happened at the same period that the attention to women's empowerment and their participation in development programs was focused in the world. In Iran, laws were also passed, and these laws imposes that all policy makers and planners should use the potential of women in development programs. Initially, most of the programs were only providing technical and vocational training services to rural and nomadic women. Over time, we come to the conclusion that education alone cannot empower the rural and nomadic women. In order for women to play a role in rural development, their social and economic empowerment must also be considered in addition to education. Therefore, a model for empowering rural and nomadic women was designed and implemented. The process of implementing this model was as follows. Step one, implementing a capacity building project. The project to select and train women as facilitators of rural and nomadic development was implemented in order to establish a connection with the local community. Step two, implementing a plan to build institutions and organize small producers to provide microfinance and access to financial resources such as facilities and credits. Accordingly, a plan to establish a microcredit fund for rural and nomadic women was designed and implemented based on experiences by the Rani Bang in Bangladesh. Step three, networking. And networking. After implementing the institution building plan and establishing its microcredit fund, networking and establishing a fund to support agricultural investment in the country were formed. Step 4, promotion entrepreneurship and improving small businesses to make the plans more effective, especially agricultural training was implemented for rural women so that they could learn the principles of initiation, rural and agricultural business, and receive specialist training related to their field of activity. By implementing this model, 11,000 women rural and nomadic development facilitators and 440,011 microcredit funds and 18,000 rural and nomadic women have currently been trained. In addition, policy making and executive activities included submitting a bill to the Parliament approving laws to support rural women using global capacities such as cooperation with UNDP and CIRDAP and GGP and JICA, and concluding cooperation agreements with other organizations. Annual operational plans for the empowerment of rural women were prepared and implemented, and plans and projects were monitored. They implement the model of the Office for the Development of Rural and Nomadic Women activities was formed in the Ministry of Agriculture, Jihad, as headquarters, as well as provincial organizations, cities and villages. To the time limit, I cannot go for the details. So the details of the activities will be provided to CIRDAP, which can be shared to all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we are going to tell about another inspirational woman in Iran. Her name is Hadis Bagheri. I will read her biography. Hadis Bagheri, born in Qazvin province, Iran, has been the director of Janasuj village in the West Almut district since January 2015. She is also a professional photographer, designer, and director of the traditional Qajar photography studio at the Qajar Bath Anthropology Museum in Qazvin since 2016. Bagheri has also a photographer and a reporter for ISNA News Agency and a tourism of ecotourism guide. In addition to her work, Bagheri also as an environmental activities and has been recognized for her work in this area. She was awarded the title of the best village in the province at the Shahid Razi Festival in Qazvin in 2018 and was also selected as a national forest and rangeland protector in 2018. She is also a member of the board of directors of the Almut Air Environmental Group and the CEO of the environmental group Hamarian Environment and Natural Heritage of Almut. Bagheri is a highly accomplished woman who has made significant contribution to her community. She is a role model for other women in Iran and around the world. I'd like to request Ms. Hadis Bagheri to tell about your story. Welcome to Ms. Bagheri.
Good morning. I am Hadis Bagheri from Iran. I'm the village manager of Ranasuj in Alamut region. And I am proud to be here on International Women's Day. It is for rural women. When they look at Iranian village, we know that rural women also they play a big role in family economy and for national and for currently less visible and their role in the family economy is not seen. In the women do not work at home and in the field many things stop. And I realized that this woman needs
Madam, excuse me, madam, your voice is
to
not
make
clear.
a difference. We need to give.
Hello, madam, your voice is not clear.
Yes, please put up the video.
But please look up to the video.
On the audio.
Yeah, only audio, madam. Voice is not clear.
I cannot see. International village as manager in relate that the woman need to be sent to make a difference. We need to give the conference and say that you have a great ability not only in daily life, but also in art and production.
Ma'am,
This,
sorry to interrupt you. Could you please just off your video? Then your audio will be clear. Can you off your video? Then we can hear you clearly. Just off your video. Can you do it, sir? Ma'am? If it is possible, could you please off your video? Just
Madam,
switch off. Yeah.
yes.
Now try to speak and move closer to your internet facility. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
Yes, madam, now you can speak.
Madam Hadisi,
Yes.
are you there?
In Ranakush village, as a manager, I realized that the women need to be sent to make a difference. We need to give them confidence and say that you have great abilities not only in daily life, but also in art and production. These countries was on the biggest factor that used to empower women in the village. To begin with, as a facilitator, I treat to strength the woman of the village, especially. I told them that you are an artist. You have great abilities that can provide employment and income. With the vision, I took the first step in creating job and creating farm-based business. We start packing rural productions with organic and environmentally friendly material. This business not only generates income from rural women, but also helps protect the environment and use the natural resource sustainably. We are also working to set up a class production workshop to help women in the field employment. This workshop and create a new opportunities for women and in addition to helping the economy of families, they will have an impact on the local community. Finally, my message to all the women persons at this conference is that the women have various power. We can even create a positive change even in difficult situation. Let's work target for a better world and equal opportunities for all women. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Hadis Bagheri. Some of your speech we cannot understand. Can you please send your write-up to us so that we can share it to others? Thank you so much, Madam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I would like to request Myanmar representative, my colleague, Sejuti will share her biography.
Now I'm sharing a short biography of Miss Mee Mee ma'am. She's from Myanmar. Ms. Mee Mee Ma'am, Director of the Department of Rural Development under the Ministry Cooperatives and Rural Development. Ms. Mee Mee has 27 years of experience in sustainable rural development, poverty alleviation, and infrastructure development. She is a high-skilled technical and management expert who oversees every stage of rural development projects, from planning to implementation and assessment. She advocates community-driven development with a focus on women's equality, social inclusion, and programs aimed at building the capacity of rural people.
It's over to Mee Mee, madam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be here today as we celebrate International Women's Day, focusing on the theme Accelerating Action. I would like to thank to the organizer for providing this platform to discuss the role of the women in transforming rural communities. Let me introduce. My name is Mee Mee Htwe, and I'm Director of Department of Rural Development, DRD. With a master's degree in civil engineering and over 25 years of experience in engineering, I have dedicated my career in rural infrastructure and development using people-centered approach that empower communities. Throughout my career, I have witnessed how empowering women can drive lasting change in rural communities. By accelerating access to education, healthcare, and infrastructure, women became key players of progress, transforming not only their life, but also the life of those around them. Today, I'm happy to share my experience and contribution in advancing these efforts. Our department, DRD, has been implementing the Rural Infrastructure Development Project, Livelihoods and Income Generation Project, Village Development Plan Project. All these projects are carried out based on the people-centered approach. Today, I would like to share the experience and title of empowering community through rural development activities. I have been working for a long time in government projects such as planning, designing and feasibility study, implementing construction of the farm roads, in the village road, etc. by our department DRD as the rural infrastructure development works in our rural area. While working on farm road construction nationwide, we have had to balance government priorities with community needs. At the implementation process, although international safeguard standards are not fully compliant, we encourage to follow some minimum guidelines, such as women participation in planning process and construction process. Similarly, I took responsibility as the project manager in the National Community Driven Development Project, NCDDP, funded by the World Bank Group and other development partners, and also the Cash for Work projects. For instance, under the NCDDP, we conducted gender-focused training for community members, ensuring women had equal representation in decision-making process. This not only improves project outcome, but also enhances community ownership and resilience. Also, the equal pay for equal work is applied in construction works, which leads the community understand the importance of women opportunities. The quota share of committee member enhances the chance of better participation of the women. For all activities mentioned above, the technical support is provided to the staff and community through the training as required. As the result of the NCDDP project implementation in over 12,000 villages of 63 townships, 7.1 million of beneficiaries have the willingness to participate in every development project, coming into the village and not hesitate to raise their needs and wants on every process of the project implementation. As the experience and success stories collected during the implementation, it was found that women have the ability to discuss in the selection activity of the sub-project priorities for their village development works. In addition, the Women Committee was able to hold their opportunity to be in the role of the village development committees. As the project records, half of about 630,000 of village committee members are women in the project. NCDDP. As the project manager, I could manage not only the technical training, but also the capacity development training, which are provided to the staff and village committee members. As the achievement of Women Empowerment Program, the project recorded that a total of about 580,000 women staff and women committee were trained through almost 42,000 trainees throughout the project implementation. A total of 1,400 committee members also has the capacity to work in the administrative sector, parliamentary sector, government departments, and NGOs and INGOs. Ultimately, whether it's an international or government-funded project, the goal is to ensure that the development process remains inclusive and benefit community as a whole. This is why understanding and adaptive approach is the crucial in our rural development. However, there were some challenges on women empowerment. Women are reluctant to participate in the project activities. At the beginning of the project, equal pay for equal work requirement is not practiced in our community as for their tradition, and community have mindset that males are traditionally leader in our society. For addressing sustainability and long-run impacts, the future project activities need to contact the project, the community project, which make rural community empowered, especially to promote the role of the women. To create opportunities for long-run of women participation, decision-making, leadership role, and development activities like forming women network and conducting gender workshop. To keep conducting of rural development and people-centered development activities and projects. As the conclusion, Women Empower Programs should be considered as part of the project activities as the future project will be implemented in rural areas. As we celebrate International Women's Day 2025 under the theme Accelerate the Action, let us commit to tangible steps that empower women, break barriers, and drive progress in rural development. So together we can create a brighter, more equitable future. Thank you.
We are very happy to hear your stories. Thank you very much. Now, our inspirational women from Sri Lanka, Miss HMSJM Hitihamu. She is also our project coordinator. We know her very well. Actually, we are calling her as Sagarika Madam. Now I will read her biography. Miss HMSJM Hitihamu is a highly experienced socioeconomic researcher with 2 decades of the expertise in livestock and dairy development in Sri Lanka. She has published research report and journal article on the dairy sector in Sri Lanka. She is also a skilled presenter and educator of effectively communication complex research findings to diverse audience. Ms. Hitihamu is currently pursuing PhD in economics at the University of Colombo. Her research focused on production, distribution, efficiency in Sri Lanka's dairy farming system. She holds a master's in rural development from University of Queensland, Australia, and master's in animal science from University of Paradenia, Sri Lanka. She also earned a bachelor degree in agriculture from University of Paradenia. As a senior research officer at the Hector Covacadua Agrarian Research and Training Institute, HARTI, she has played a pivotal role in designing and implementing research projects providing scientific guidance, and contributing to policy development. Her career also includes experience as a project manager, where she oversees income-generating initiative aimed at improving the livelihood of low-income families. She has actively participated in numerous international training programs and seminars, served as a resource person and country coordinator in key agricultural and rural development forums. She is a dedicated member of the professional organization, including the Sri Lanka Agriculture Economics Association, the Hardy Researcher Association, and Gatton Alumni Student Association. Now I would like to Sagarika Madam to tell your biography. Welcome to Sagarika Madam.
Okay, good morning everyone, and thank you very much Professor Chandrasekhara, DG CIRDAP, and Madam Musharani for organizing this Women's Day activity for appreciating women around the South Asia. So this is a great opportunity for us to empower our women and who are having low income in the world and vulnerable women as well as the women around the world. So I will take this opportunity to share my own story with you today. As an inspiring woman, when this email received to Hardy, my director is without thinking of another inspiring woman, he was asking, Sagarika, you are the right person for this. You go for this because you are doing a remarkable work with having a lot of challenges. So I would say I would thankful to my director, Professor Sanjika. He's the director of Hardy with the new government. He was appointed and he got to know that we are doing a great job to the enhancement of the socio-economic sector of Sri Lankans farmers. So let me just go through my life story. Actually, I feel happy that what I have done during last 20 years, where I started and where to go is kind of, I really did not think of this activity before. When I was thinking how to create this activity or this paper, I really feel happy that I have done something remarkable to my Sri Lankan and as well as by providing a lot of publication. I feel really happy. So my life story is true testament to transformative power of knowledge, persistence, and passion for community upliftment. Over a span of 20 years, my unwavering commitment to improving the socio-economic conditions of rural communities of Sri Lanka has not only reshaped the agricultural landscape, but has also contributed immensely to the growth of the country's livestock and dairy industry. The early years laying the foundation for a vision of change. My journey began with a keen interest in agriculture, which led me to pursue a bachelor degree in agriculture from the University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka. Graduating with a second-class honors in 2000, honors in 2000, I showed early promise as someone with the potential to make a significant impact on rural development. Driven by a desire to contribute to the socio-economic betterment of the rural communities, I continue my academic pursuit, earning a master's degree in animal science from the Postgraduate Institute of Agriculture, University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka. This academic foundation in agriculture laid the groundwork for my future research and work in rural development. My career in rural development took off in 2003 when I joined the Hector Kobakadu Agrarian Research and Training Institute, Hardy, as a researcher. In early years at Hardy, allowed me to gain invaluable insights into Sri Lanka's agricultural sectors, specializing in socio-economic research. I took on projects that examine key agricultural practices, rural livelihoods, and the challenges faced by smallholder farmers in Sri Lanka. A turning point focused on livestock and dairy development. It wasn't long before me to recognize the critical role livestock and dairy farming played in the livelihood of millions of rural Sri Lankans. Smallholder farmers, particularly in rural and dry zone areas, were facing significant challenges related to productivity, access to resources, and market integration. Realizing the immense potential to uplift these communities through better livestock management practices and efficient dairy production, I dedicated to specialize in this area. My focus on livestock extension programs and dairy farming systems soon became my life's work by exploring factors that affected production and distribution efficiencies. I uncovered insights that would shape the policies and interventions necessary for strengthening the dairy sector in Sri Lanka. Through my research, I highlighted key issues such as value chain inefficiencies, gaps in animal husbandry practices, and challenges in dairy market access, which were hindering the growth of the industry. With a deeper understanding of these issues, I continue my academic journey pursuing a Master in Rural Development from the University of Queensland. Actually, I received a scholarship from the Australian government in 2016. This international exposure broadened my understanding of rural development practices and enhanced my ability to offer solutions tailored to Sri Lanka's unique agricultural context. My pursuit of a PhD in economics at the University of Colombo further solidified my expertise, with dissertation focusing on factors influencing dairy farming systems in Sri Lanka. Leadership and impact in rural development. By 2014, work at Hearty was recognized and I promoted to Senior Research Officer in 2014. During this time, I assumed leadership roles in several key divisions such as Agriculture Policy and Project Evaluation Division. In these roles, there are multiple research initiatives focused on improving rural livelihood and agricultural productivity across Sri Lanka. My contributions were not limited to research alone. I also played a vital role in designing and coordinating national and international training programs, workshops, and seminars that aim to empower local farmers and policymakers. By organizing these forums, I facilitated this exchange of knowledge and best practices, helping rural communities adopt innovative agricultural methods and improve productivity. One of the notable achievements was serving as a country coordinator for the Collaborating International Forum on Strengthening Food Safety Standards in 2018. Of course, CIRDAP also joined with us for that workshop, where I showcased Sri Lanka's agriculture progress to the world. Additionally, my contribution to international training programs on rural governance, food security, and agricultural development further positioning as a global advocate for rural transformation. I should talk about the challenges which I faced and the farmers' challenges in my inspiring tour. I of course have to mention that all this work I'm continuing as a single mother. My husband passed away when my child was 9 months old. With these all challenges, I'm continuing this work as of course of course I have a great ambition of working to the rural women who are not much empowered like me. So the success has not been without challenges. Rural Sri Lanka, particularly in its remote and underserved areas is beset with issues such as inadequate infrastructure, limited access to veterinary services, poor road networks, and financial constraints. The livestock extension services in the country have historically faced hurdles like limited resources, insufficient personnel, and inconsistent policy implementation. However, these challenges are considered as opportunities for innovation and growth. I spearheaded initiatives to improve efficiency of livestock extension services, focusing on areas such as training programs for extension officers, creating awareness about sustainable farming practices, and introducing new dairy technologies that could increase productivity. I worked tirelessly to address these gaps, making significant contribution to Sri Lanka's dairy development policy. Through my extensive research, I published several papers and reports that analyze the gap in the dairy value chain and propose practical mitigation measures. And a vision for a future empowering rural communities. As a mentor and educator, I have always believed in the power of knowledge sharing and conducted training sessions for farmers, extension officers, and local leaders, helping them to understand the importance of adopting modern agricultural technologies. My role as a resource person for programs like the Technology to Village Initiative and participatory techniques for planning and management of rural community development projects has been instrumental in empowering rural communities. My work had a ripple effect, inspiring countless young researchers, extension officers, and farmers to engage in sustainable agricultural practices that promote food security, economic growth, and poverty alleviation. Not only changed the way Sri Lankans approach livestock farming, but I have also contributed to creating a more inclusive and equitable rural development framework. Legacy and continuing impact. Today, continue to lead efforts in strengthening the dairy sector, analyzing production systems, and advocating for rural development policies that improve farmers' livelihood. My story is not just one of the personal achievements, but a reflection of my dedication to uplift the rural Sri Lanka and building a sustainable future for its farming communities. As I continue Sri Lanka and building sustainable future for its farming communities. As I continue my legacy as a pioneer in Sri Lanka's rural development, journey remains an inspiring model of what can be achieved through hard work, dedication, and commitment to positive change. I think together we can create a beautiful world. Let us I would like to congratulate all the women around the world to have a happy Women's Day. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your beautiful word, because you told us that together we can overcome all our difficulties. Thank you, madam. Now floor is open for all participants to speak or ask question. Now floor is open.
Thank you very much. I think it's this is Akanisi from Fiji. It's very interesting to hear the stories of women from the Asian countries. And, you know, compared with Fiji, we're just such a small nation with a small population. And when we think about those countries with a big population, it's really challenging to be able to do those projects that are benefiting the women at the grassroots. So, you know, the question that I would like to ask, particularly in Sri Lanka, that you know, the perseverance and that she has had about we feel sorry at the husband and that she's alone doing all those work. In terms of working with other agencies, with other departments in the work that she's doing, I just want to know what the kind of support that she gets to be able to continue to fulfill those kind of challenges that she's mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. I'm really happy to talk. And of course, I feel sorry when I'm talking some of the sensitive matters. And of course, I came from very rural area. And when I lose my husband, I have 9 months old child, girl child. So when I'm going to the field, I usually go into the field to collect data regarding research data. I have to collect from several areas around Sri Lanka. So of course, my institute, they have given me the opportunity to take my child to the field. I usually go in with my child to the field, and all surrounding officers, and they help me to continue my work with the session with my child. Wherever I go, I take my child to the field. And of course, when I'm going to other countries, I can't. I keep my child with my mother. However, with these all challenges, I'm doing the best to Sri Lanka. Thank you, madam.
Congratulations you're indeed a woman of resilience, and and you've endured. So congratulations, and may God continue to bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Any questions from participants?
Ma'am, yeah, this is Dr. Venkat Mallu from NIDPR Hyderabad. Actually, first of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the organizers for conducting this International Women's Day celebrations. And I congratulate all the inspiring leaders who presented their journey in rural development. And also, what I feel that it's an inspiration for all the members who are attending this program. Even we can think about some issue, coming up with some report on such inspiring stories from CMCs, the CIRDAP member countries. Maybe in the future we can think of it, and so that can be circulated among the CMCs, so that they will learn each other from their experiences. Once again, I thank thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to learn different experiences from these inspiring leaders. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good suggestion.
So, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
The director has taken note of that suggestion.
Yeah.
Hello, I think the director has taken note of the suggestion.
Yeah. I have noted. We will do that.
Yes, and also the funding for it, because my colleague here in Fiji, who's been working in the rural areas, knows that unless we tell our stories, it will not inspire the other women, to do that. So, it may be by the next International Women's Day, there would be a book published in terms of the stories that women have to tell and their journey in life, like we've heard, because it's not just working for the women, it's their life stories that I said in the beginning, because in that life story, the children, the baby, the family, the husband are all part of their journey, to create success in the community that they're working. So thank you, sir, for agreeing, nodding your head vigorously. And we know that we will get, some support for the publication, come the next International Women's celebration. Thank you.
Any other clarifications?
Dr. Chandra, may I?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, this is Shahbaz.
Yes.
May I? So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
hi, Usha. Hi, everybody. So, nothing more from my side. Just I wanted to congratulate. Today is I think that one of the most important day considered observed by the United Nations, I can say. And I would like to congratulate and wish all the best of women in the world, specifically the Asian countries and the CIRDAP member countries women, and maybe our pioneers that today made a presentation on their success stories. I really salute them. I wish all the best, all our ladies and women in our CIRDAP member countries, specifically who are working for the sake of our rural development. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Hussain.
Just sorry to thank the CIRDAP and Dr. Chandra and Usha to organize such a August event. Really, I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any question? If not, then we are going for closing remark.
Yeah, we would like to hear from the chair of the program, Dr. Akanisi Kedrayate. Few words, then I can conclude. Over to chair.
Well, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, actually, before we conclude, I would like to, we would like to listen to you. The final words, Dr. Akanisi Kedrayate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is indeed, sir, an honor to have the first word and also the final word. Once again, I would like, just on behalf of my colleagues here in Fiji, and in particular, the Honorable Minister for Rural Development and Disaster Management, and all the senior officials, two of them are with me today, our heartiest gratitude to the Director General and to all the great inspiring women, particularly in the Asian countries, who have shared their life stories with us today. And for me, just listening to each story, has really inspired me. And I have learned quite a lot. I've been to most of the countries that are represented here, and I witness the great work that the women are doing and the struggle and the challenges that they are facing. However, with an organization like CIRDAP, and we hope that it has brought people together to work together and to share so that there will be great empowerment that happens. And I'm so happy that we have our male support here tonight in this session. We have here, I have here 3 male supporting us in this celebration here. And I also believe that as we women talking about our inspiring work that we are doing, because I believe that women are built differently, we are multi-skilled, we are courageous, we are fearless, and we are resilient, and we have the tenacity to go the extra mile. At the same time, I always believe that we can never do this alone, that we have our counterpart, our partners, the male in our society, and we do recognize that all this development that we're doing, all this community work that we're doing for each family in the rural areas will only come about and will only bear fruit if we work together in collaboration, fulfilling the purposes which we have set out to do. And I always believe that when we have God guiding us in all this work, we will be able to do what is good and what will bring smile and happiness, to not only to the women, but also to the family. Because I believe it's the family, that is very important in all this development. For us in Fiji, the family is very critical into the whole rural development. And because the children will carry on the legacy of what has been done by the parents and the great-grandparents. And therefore, for all the communities, some of our values, some of our traditional values, some of the things that we hold most before Western civilization, before colonial times come in, we need to rethink them. We need to look at them, because now there's emphasis about traditional knowledge, traditional skills that were there before all this development comes about. So I just want to say that before we end this session, and just to encourage all the inspiring women and all the inspiring men who have been part of this process, let's hold hands, let's work together. And whenever there is unity, there is, great result, and there is also great blessings that will happen not only in our own families, not only in our own countries, but in the whole world. So thank you very much for the honor. I'm so humbled, even to be invited to be here to share with such inspiring women from the Asian countries, and also to thank God that we do celebrate Women's Day to uplift the work that the women are doing, but always in partnership with the men, because when we work together, there is great results. So with those words, thank you very much, and may God bless everyone who participated today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Dr. Akanisi. Thank you so much for your inspirational word. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to request our Director General, sir, to deliver his closing remark. And after closing remark, we'll take group photos.
Thank you, Dr. Usha, for wonderfully conducting the program. I would like to thank my CIRDAP family for organizing and coordinating this program very well. Only two observations. Number one, we have the tendency to initiate separate program for women. In my view, women development program should be mainstreamed. They should be part and parcel of every program, irrespective of the ministries. There should be a women component. Then only we can see women everywhere. I think this basic philosophy and principle, whether it is in program planning or program implementation, in letter and spirit, if we adopt, I think, women will be everywhere, and their potential can be realized and utilized by society and the nation. Number two, to do this, we need to generate very clean data. Somebody should tell that women is not clearly involved in decision making. Even though her contribution is very significant, to what extent? Why she is not entitled the ownership of the land, and her role in program implementation and the utilization of benefits are limited. This has to be clearly demonstrated by this data. I think this data helps the policymakers to take justifiable decisions. So generation of clean data and mainstreaming gender in all the programs implementation, probably we can see, very effective role of women in development. Of course, a very good suggestion was there. Can we document success stories of women? Definitely, we made note of it, and we will take it forward. So then finally, a very important task for me to thank all the participants. Thank you very much. You gave your mind, gave your heart, shared your thoughts, which really inspired every one of us. CIRDAP had a very simple idea of bringing people from all the countries together for a common cause. I get a feeling that we have achieved that the basic purpose. Not only we brought together, we got the privilege of listening to your success stories. Personally, I got really inspired by all your thoughts. Dr. Akanisi Kedrayate from Fiji, thank you very much for chairing the session, wonderfully contributing your ideas. You told you represent a small country, but you gave a very big idea for us. You started telling your story by asking a question as a kid, why not? I think every girl child in home start their life by asking this question, why not? Then I think that is the beginning of the change. It is a wonderful idea. It touched my heart. When you were talking, I was remembering the statement made by Mahatma Gandhi, that is, be the change you wish to see in the society. First you change, then it becomes very easy to change the society. That you have demonstrated in your country through your personal life. Thank you very much for chairing the session and also sharing your experiences. It was very nice to hear Sufia Begum from Bangladesh. Not only she mustered all the courage to come up in life with all the difficulties, she gave it back to the society by building a very, very powerful cooperative societies. When we give back to society, how society gives back to the individual. This is clearly demonstrated in Sufia Begum case. She contributed for society and society asked her to stand for election. She accepted her as their leader. It increased commitment of, Sufia Begum, and she could give, more time and more service to her own community. It is the beautiful story of, one for all and all for one. It is a very inspiring, real story we heard. It really touched our, thoughts. Dr. Rani Bang, one of the famous doctor from India, unfortunately, she could not be there. It's a big country, maybe participating in at least half a dozen programs today. I would like to thank Dr. Rani Bang also in absentia. She attained one of the highest civilian award given to any citizen in the country, Padma Shri, through her service. Really inspiring. And it was very interesting and wonderful conversation with Mrs. Mehri, Maddahi, Kivi, who worked for very interesting group in the society, that is nomadic women. She developed, a development model for nomadic women. She made provision for credit and also implemented, ensured that these nomadic women get benefited by the policies. So in United Nations, in all the programs we hear very often, don't leave anyone behind. That means make it more inclusive. I think this is one of the wonderful story we heard from Iran, a inclusive success story. Then listening to Hadis Bagheri from Iran was very interesting. Actually, she has a multifaceted personality as a press reporter, as an environmentalist, as a agri-tourism guide. She was on the tour when she talked from a train. So it was very interesting. It tells us that, there are 1,000 ways for women to develop, not one way. You have shown the way. Thank you, Hadis Bagheri, for sharing your, very interesting story. Coming to Myanmar, Mrs. Mee Mee, so policy maker role and also
Sir, I think your network is again disturbing.
Sir, network is disturbing. Your network is disturbing.
Is it audible now?
Yes, sir. Now it's audible.
I was just sharing, the experiences of Dr. Mee Mee from Myanmar. With hard work, women can attain the leadership roles, as place one woman in the role of, the leader, the national level. This is clearly, demonstrated when we were listening to Dr. Mee Mee, and she could able to reach, 12,000 villages. So this is very heartening to hear from her that involving women in decision-making process in 12,000 villages. It's a very significant contribution. Of course, we heard from Dr. Sagarika a very touching story, how she could able to manage her
The network again.
Development of society. You made very significant contribution for food and nutrition security of the society by contributing to value chain of dairy sector. Very inspiring story. And finally, if a woman is determined, success is ensured. This is what the message you have given to all of us. I think listening to you all people, I get a feeling that, our day is made. You left a everlasting, inspiring ideas. CIRDAP, my CIRDAP family, seriously, we make note of your observations, and we are committed to take all these ideas in one or the other way, in letter and spirit. All the best. Have a wonderful International Women's Day. I would like to thank my colleagues, Dr. Usha, Dr. Hurain, and Mr. Jakirul, and Shajuti, and they had just to ensure the presence of all of you. Finally, my professional colleagues from some of the CIRDAP experts, some of the MOU partners, and some of the rural development experts also took place in this conversation. Thank you very much for your valuable time. And let us together, as the chair said, together we can take all these ideas forward. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
For your wonderful speech. Thank you so much. Now we'll take photo together.
Please turn on your videos.
Yeah, please turn on your video.